Welcome back to Top World Disc Golf. This is the back nine of round one for the Santa Cruz Masters Cup. Here's your scores from our featured card for the first 9 holes. Isaac Robinson and Niklas Anttila are setting the pace at -4, but Gannon, Buhr, and Ezra Robinson are not far behind at -4 and -3. I'm Keenan, Dalton, here with Paavo Stubstad.
Excited for this back nine, Keenan. The front nine was exciting. These players are shooting hot despite the unusually difficult layout at DeLaveaga, which is already a difficult course in a standard layout.
Yeah, challenging layout, but we got 4 of the best players tackling this course.
The only red we saw on our scorecards on the front nine was hole 9, which is the famous I-5 hole, which 0 people in the field took birdie on. So great round going for all 4 of our players, really.
Yeah, on to hole 10. It's in the long position, which you may be used to seeing in the Santa Cruz Masters Cup. Most players go up the gut in order to get a little bit of hard pan skip to give yourself a look at the basket. But these players on our card also have the power to go up and over if needed. We'll see what they opt for.
This is actually the toughest hole we've seen so far, averaging at 3.56, more than half a stroke over par.
See if Isaac can get his honor there.
Pretty good, I think.
Yeah, should be up there. Niklas going distance driver with the DD3. Caught a little bit of foliage, so he's pretty short. Ezra Robinson up next.
Oh, nice.
Barely missed that center tree. And good ground play.
Skips right into that little bush. He'll be a little short. Very difficult hole to get all the way to circle 1. Gannon going up and over everything despite the possibility of 2 meter.
Oh, stop.
Well, we'll see how it is when we get up there. Niklas with the longest of the upshots here. Looking at a low forehand line. Oh, it was a good looking line. He's going to have to work for the par now. Gannon with another double kneeling shot. We've seen several of those on the front nine already. Yeah, good enough for the par. Oh. I hope none of that's poison oak.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt there's a little bit in there.
Had the height, just wide. He seemed frustrated, but to me, that's a bonus putt if you make that one.
Yeah, here's Isaac putting from just outside the circle 1 whisker.
Clipped a little foliage on the way there. Tough to say whether that changed the result or not. Good par save for Niklas.
Yeah, 2 good pars in a row after he got a 3 on the last hole.
Par from Gannon as well. And there were only 3 birdies on the day on this hole from Sonny Ashby, Robert Lockwood, and Cole Redolin. Good par putt from Ezra there. And pars all around, which I'm sure was pretty common score for a lot of cards on this hole.
On to tournament hole 11. This is not a pin position you've seen before. Players are playing to what is normally course hole 12's long basket. So 428 feet. It's a pretty difficult shot. You got to go over the ravine and keep it over the trees and do not fade left. So most players are going to be reaching for a distance driver if they have any chance of getting there.
So this is why the kitchen was in that alternate short pin. It makes sense now.
Exactly. Tournament staff really wanted to challenge these players for this layout.
Yeah, another tough one here, averaging 3.49. Half a stroke over par. Not quite as hard as the previous hole, but pretty close.
And Isaac giving it a little ace run with his drive. Niklas up next with his Horizon DD3. Just needs to keep turning.
That is a great looking flex line right there. Just don't go too far down the hill. Should be all right. This is another one where par is good, birdie is amazing. Ezra a little bit low, but it got some nice lift there. I think he barely cleared the trees. Yeah, he's good. Just don't go too far down in the ravine. Oh, it looks like it did. Most likely a par coming his way.
And Gannon reaching for his Discmania DD3. Much higher line, but turning a lot.
Oh, clipped something. It looked like it was starting to fight out of it, and with potential ground play, I would have liked to see how that could have ended up without clipping that tree, but as it is, we're looking at a likely layup. Yeah. No harm, no foul. Par is okay. Ezra down in the ravine. Does he have a look at all? Nah, just laying up.
So
Niklas.
Yeah, Niklas for birdie here.
Oh, just wide. Would have loved to see one. Still might. Yes, great birdie from Isaac. 1 of 7 on the day on this hole. So one of the toughest holes so far, but actually had a higher birdie percentage than the other holes we saw that averaged like half a stroke over par, that had either no birdies or just a few. People were actually able to get this one. Just a lot of bogeys, double bogeys, and worse as well.
Yeah, we were on the tee and watched Matty O throw a really great drive. Was he one of the other birdies?
Let's find out. No. No, he was not. I guess since we're talking about it, I might as well shout him out at this point. We got Connor O'Reilly, Isaac Robinson, Damian Trunke, Jacob Johnson, Luke Sampson, Matt Bell, and Josh Anton.
Wow, what a group. On to another iconic DeLaveaga hole, commonly referred to as Gravity. It's tournament hole 12 today, and for this field of great MPO players, this is one of those must-get birdies, but obviously there is the potential to get DeLaveaga.
Yep, I'd say this is one of 2 must-get birdie holes on the day. That's the play right there. Go to the left of the V tree, use the ground play to check up. The hyzer to the right is better for an ace run, but is worse for birdie because you're much more likely to pop up and roll coming in on a hyzer angle like that.
Another standstill from Niklas. Looks pretty similar to Isaac's.
Perfect. Such an iconic green.
Not a good shot from Ezra, unfortunately.
That was weird.
Jump putt going.
Looks like Gannon Burr is lining up a jump putt.
as only Gannon Buhr would. Did you see that video he posted on social media of jump putting top of the world?
Yeah, it's just
That's ridiculous.
just bonkers.
Well, I guess if you can jump putt top of the world, you can jump putt gravity, no problem.
Looks a little high.
A little short left, and there's the DeLaveaga roll. He hit the steep part of the slope. And here he is. Very long uphill look for a birdie.
No way.
What? That's a Gannon Buhr birdie right there. Jump putts where most people would do a throw. Putts where most people would do a jump putt. Birdie.
Ezra for birdie.
Oh no. And he's right about where Gannon was.
DeLaveaga.
Now putting for a par. Come on, Ezra. Oh, it had the height. That's rough, man. A bogey on this hole feels like a double bogey on any other hole, I'm sure.
Just insulting. Could tell he was getting a little frustrated, and that doesn't help.
Yeah, he was already struggling a little bit to keep up with the rest of this card. Now he's going to fall back even more.
So birdies for Niklas, Gannon, and Isaac, and a bogey for Ezra.
Isaac still leading the card at 7 under.
On to hole 13. 276 feet. This is the right position, commonly referred to as the anaconda because of the oak tree root right in front of the basket. Kind of looks like a giant snake, and if you're not careful, it can cause a lot of rollaways. I think the best shot here is a backhand with a little bit of stability. You kind of force it over to the right and then have it gently fade on the hillside, but Isaac going for the high line.
Oh, sit down. I'm guessing those trees were good. To me, that looked like it was just anteing too much off to the right, but hard to tell from that view. Niklas going for a similar line. This is such a unique hole. I love it. And it's one of the few we've seen so far that's just kind of an average difficulty. 3.11, still pretty hard, but not like a lot of the other holes we've seen, which a lot of them have averaged like half a stroke over par, minus the couple birdie or die holes that averaged half a stroke under par. Here's one that's kind of middle of the pack.
Surprising to see Gannon go sidearm there. And a little bit of roll, he's going to be right next to Isaac.
Could be worse, I guess. As we're going for a much lower Anheuser line.
Yeah, that looked like the ideal throw on this hole.
This is a scary putt. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Niklas lay that up. This is one of the few courses where you'll see pros lay up from 40 feet. 45 maybe. DeLaveaga will do that to you. Yeah, Isaac had no choice but to just pitch up for a par. Gannon looks like he might have a look here, or maybe it's just a layup. Tough to tell. Oh no, that was a run. I see the basket now.
Yeah, that was close. Ezra bouncing back from the bogey though. Gets the only birdie on our featured card.
Yeah, only 13% of the field took birdie on this, so still pretty tough. 19 birdies on the day.
We have a nice little gap there.
On to hole 14. This is in the normal Masters Cup position, the long. You want to throw a mid-range or fairway driver that misses this big tree root. And The OB road is on the left side, so you don't want it to fade too much, or there's a possibility of getting a bad kick off to that left side. But this should be a birdieable hole for these guys.
Yep, slightly easier than the prior hole, averaging 2.95, just under par.
Perfect. So good.
Oh, beautiful shot from Ezra. Absolutely parked.
In the bullseye.
I gotta say, hats off to whoever made the decision to keep the fallen tree as part of this hole. I remember back in the day when that tree was standing, and it changed how the hole played when it fell, but I love that it wasn't removed. Now it gives the hole so much uniqueness and character.
Yeah, thanks to our DeLaveaga chain gang, always keeping the course looking nice.
In this case, I'm thanking the course maintenance crew for not doing maintenance.
Yeah, they did cut off some straggler roots that were, it was almost like a Medusa head of a tree root before they cleaned it up a little bit.
Sure, well that's fine, but leaving it, I love it. Sometimes less coursework is better.
Pretty early for Gannon, but he's still got a birdie look.
Oh, just an inch high. Great bid from back there. Oh, it looked good from Niklas, just barely right side. Good birdie from Isaac.
Money. The Robinson brothers get the only birdies then for our featured card.
Very impressive drive once again from Ezra right there.
And headed to the hill. Tournament hole 15. This is in a diabolical pin position in the long, long left. 399 feet, but plays like 500, I'd say. You really got to park the normal Masters Cup position right near these bricks to give yourself an extreme uphill putt for, 60, 80 feet and just tons of rollaway potential. The steepest green on the course, I'd say.
Honestly, Keenan, I really miss seeing this green. I love it. I remember seeing it back in the day for Masters Cups in like the 2010s, late 2010s, like 2017, 2018, some classic Paul and Ricky battles. It's an insanely difficult hole, but I love the extremeness of it, if you will.
Yeah, one of my favorite iconic DeLaw videos is when Garrett Gerthy hits the pin on this one. Not sure what year that was, but go back and check it out if you haven't. And Isaac throwing his rive. Puts it in pretty ideal position.
Yep, like you said, Keenan, that's what you got to do. Throw to there and then make a big putt that feels like twice the distance that it actually is.
S-line DD3 from Niklas. Pretty similar to Isaac, just a little too straight maybe. It's going to be a long putt from there. And Gannon also reaching for a DD3.
Wow, too straight. He needed some fade a bit earlier. He's probably pinched off over there. That was a ridiculously far shot.
Yeah, spectators are just wowed by his distance.
Yep, Niklas just laying up for par. Smart play. That's the other thing. If you risk running a big circle 2 putt on this, any basket hit is more likely than not going to result in a rollaway. Oh no. Ezra. Oh, yeah, this is brutal for Gannon.
Yeah, it doesn't really have any options. He's thinking about, should I go over it? Is there a patent pending Anheuser, even then, if you just give it the wrong angle, it's rolling. Maybe an upside down little scuba. Too many options, but at the same time, no options.
When a lie is bad enough, I guess that's how it is, and oh no. I think he did not progress any closer to the basket, although he is more to the left now and should hopefully have a look to get up and down to save the bogey. Pitches up to do that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. What do you think's steeper, Keenan? This green or the one at Worlds last year that, cost Niklas the tournament?
I think this is steeper, though it's a little grassier.
Oh, no.
Look at this roll.
A little grind on the bricks for the next tee pad there. That was fancy, but... Oh, man.
So that was Ezra's third shot. So this will be for 4.
Yeah, realistically, double bogey at best at this point. Yeah, he can't make anything from down there. Wow, that's... I mean, if there's any hole where it's going to happen, it's this one.
And now Isaac for birdie.
No. Sit. Oh, welcome to DeLaveaga. Oh, that I think would have kept going if it didn't hit that other pin. And he's just going to lay up, yep. Brutal, man. What a tough hole. Actually, the average was only 3.37. I would have expected closer to half a stroke over par, but I think a lot of the field just choosing to play for par and not taking risks running big birdie putts.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
Gannon with the bogey.
I think on the tee, Isaac was saying he was just going to lay up, but after such a great drive, Gannon's like, you got to run that now. And how quickly a 2 turns to a 4.
Ooh, Gannon got in his head a little bit.
Really wanted to see the birdie too.
Keenan with the insider knowledge. Yeah, no birdie 2s on this card. We only had 3 on the day, so definitely got to shout him out from Aaron Gossage, Peter Keen, and Andrew Miranda.
All right, on to hole 16. This is the Masters Cup position, 276-foot par 3, but plays much longer because of the uphill of the hill. I'd say it probably plays like 350, and you really need to mind your angles. You got to land it flat relative to the hillside, or else there's that same rollaway potential on this hole. Niklas with his S-line PD.
Nice and flat. A little bit of fade. Just outside the circle there.
Little low from Isaac. Hits that tree, so he'll be outside circle 1, somewhere in circle 2. Gannon with his C-line PD.
Yeah, a little bit too high, I think. Might have some sort of a long look from over there. And let's see if Ezra can bounce back after that very frustrating double bogey.
Yeah, it's like...
Too much turn? Or maybe not. Actually, that was looking good till it hit those branches. Long look. Yeah, he was going for it.
Isaac from a very similar spot. Sometimes better to miss the basket.
What happened there, Keenan?
Ezra just looking back at Gannon because he's talking during his putt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hit it. Nice.
Wow, what a bounce back.
Sometimes a friendly razz from your friend gives you a little motivation to hit a big putt.
Yeah, I guess so. Ezra's had great bounce backs this round. After his last bogey, he took the only birdie on the card on a difficult hole, and then after his double bogey here, he hit a huge birdie putt. Terrifying death putt for Niklas, no problem. Easy birdie. Love it.
Yeah, and with that birdie, he ties it up with Isaac at -7 for the hot round on our featured card.
On a layout like this, I'm guessing probably also hot round of the day, if not close to it. We'll find out after hole 18 when we see our leaderboard.
Yeah, on to our second to last hole for this tournament round, hole 17. In the long position. This is another tweener par 3 because it's 468 feet on this peninsula with drop off left and right. Really got to throw a perfect drive to give yourself a putt on this one.
Yeah, extremely tough pin placement, but unlike hole 1 and I-5, I'd say with the perfect shot, this is actually reachable distance-wise for the majority of the open field. It's just very, very precise. Not quite enough turn for Niklas. Can it stay up top? Right on the edge. Should be all right for a par. But yeah, like a lot of the other holes we've seen, this one averaged 3.53. There have been a lot right around that 3.5 mark.
Ezra landing in a very similar position in Niklas.
The fairway also seems like it shapes better for like a lefty power backhand flex. Like I'd love to see someone like Austin Turner play this hole, you know. Well, speaking of great drives though, guess you don't have to be left-handed. That was great right there.
Yeah, Isaac Robinson putting it right outside C1 with his, I think that was his Raider.
But yeah, with that last tree right before the basket, it does look like it actually shapes better for a lefty backhand or a righty forehand. Of course, very few people have a 468 forehand, but I'd still love to see like AB throw forehand on this, or like I said, Austin Turner throw that lefty backhand. Nice little pitch up there from Ezra. Niklas in a similar spot. Yeah, can't do much else from there. Gannon, birdie attempt right here. Oh my gosh, dude.
He's had a few of those birdie putts that are just a little left or a little right and just no love.
Isaac, one more chance for a birdie here. Oh, wow. That is so un-Isaac-like. Man,
Yeah.
I was expecting him to make that. That's too bad. Well, that means we're going to stay tied at the top of our feature card here at 7 under par. And as these guys tap out said pars here, I got a shout out. There were only 2 birdies on the day on this hole. It's tough, but honestly, I would have expected 5 to 10 birdies maybe. But the only 2 of the day are both regulars on Top World Disc Golf, Jacob Blair and Andrew Miranda. Shout out to you guys.
On to the most famous hole in disc golf, top of the world on Top World Disc Golf. It's in the medium position, 516-foot par 3. Plays shorter than that, obviously, because of the elevation change. There's the OB road long, so you don't want to have to yell parking lot.
Classic finishing hole right here, Keenan. I love it. Not too hard compared to most of the holes on today's layout. This one averaging at 3.06, just over par. Players are hoping to finish out on a birdie here. Niklas going backhand.
Throwing his cloud breaker, definitely breaking clouds up there.
little short. Right in line with the pin, though.
The more traditional route here.
Perfect. Great shot from Ezra. So we've got one high spike hyzer, one lower traditional hyzer. Let's see which line Isaac is looking at here. Looks like the higher route. Higher and wider, yep. Not as spiky as Ezra, though.
Yeah, pretty short. Kind of like Niklas.
Or I meant to say Niklas when I just said Ezra. Yeah, spiky. In between Ezra's and Niklas's. Last but not least, Gannon Buhr. Yeah, he's going for more of the Niklas route. Hopefully with a little more juice on it than Niklas. Let's see. A little bit short, but closer than Niklas, I think. Yep. Edge of circle 2 here at best, maybe 70 feet or so. Looks like Niklas will finish out with a par. Finish the round at 7 under, which for this layout is a fantastic round. Can Isaac get a stroke on him? He doesn't want it. Lays up. He's going to take the 7 under round as well.
Gannon Buhr for birdie.
There it is, Gannon. Good finish.
And with that birdie putt, he's secured his place on our round 2 lead card.
Awesome. So I guess that means we're going to have 3 out of 4 players, the same as this card, with Ezra being the only one to not make the cut. He fought hard. Man, if it wasn't for that roll away and his fluffed up shot, not fluffed, but hitting a tree up shot on 16 or whatever it was, the uphill one, 15. He would have made it, but not to be.
Yeah, he's a fighter. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it on lead card for the final round.
Yeah, especially as the current champion, defending champion.
Yeah, he knows DeLaveaga pretty well. So here's our scores after our first 18 holes. Isaac Robinson and Niklas Anttila setting a fire pace at -7. And so here's your top 10 after 18 holes. A lot of ties, not much score separation up there.
Excited to see Top World Disc Golf sponsored player Jacob Blair making it on Top World coverage of 2025 Masters Cup. This looks like a really exciting lead card for round 2. Like this video, leave a comment below, share it with people, and be sure to subscribe for the rest of this event, as well as more quality disc golf content going forward.
See you in round 2. Thanks for watching.